So if we'll open that again, apart from that, now you can try the PMIC and all the regulators. So for PMIC, I have choose this section because we have 12-volt input connector just nearby, and you can place that. And as I told you, we have to just distribute the power. So for that, I just selected this section, this much section for the regulators and for the all the bucks, buck converter that we are using, all the LDOs, you can place in this section. Okay, and during the plane section or the sectioning of power planes, we will see how we can able to connect those. So this is the whole block. Apart from that, whatever the number of component that is left after the placement, you can just try to fit those as well and as close as possible to their net or where it is going to connect. Yeah, so that is one thing that you have to complete. So I'm just going to demonstrate few things for the LPDDR4, how you should start. So first thing, I'm just going to note down that as well. So let's start with LPDDR4. Okay, so for LPDDR4 placement, you can start with, so firstly add the color on the power nets. So if you'll see here, okay, so this VDDR is just we can able to identify, okay, where are VDDR pins. Okay, apart from VDDR, we have DDR-C, we have the other, which is okay, so VCC1, VCC2, and the VCCQ. Okay, and these are the alternate names that we are using. Okay, so you have to just assign the net color on those as well, and it should be different, so you can able to identify which is the DDR-C and which is the 1.8 volt of LPDDR4. Okay, so the first thing is assign the net colors on LPDDR4 SDRAMs. What will be the next step? After that, okay, so then we can start the placement of bypass capacitors, because all of those are bypass capacitors. Okay, so start with the bypass capacitors placement. Okay, now, so again, if you'll see, for bypass capacitors, I'm just going to split the screen first. Okay, so for bypass capacitors, you have two types of packages. So if you double click on this one, you have 0402 package. Apart from that, you have some smaller package, which is 0201. Okay, so where you have to place these components, and I'm just going to demonstrate that, and how you have to target or how you have to start the placement. So firstly, you have to just select all the bigger component. Start from these two, because these two are the 0402 or 0603 package. Now click over the reposition selected. Okay, so you have to place these bigger capacitors at the edge. Okay, so again, this VCC DDR at the edge as well, and you can see these same net at the middle of the chip as well, right? So you have to place all these big capacitors outside. Anybody wants to tell why we have to place these outside? Any specific reason? Either it is related to size, or is it related to the order of component placement or something like that? Okay, so it is just related to size, right? When you're going to place these bigger capacitors here, you can see we are skipping one pad between those, right? Right? So I would recommend start with that, and you have to place all these bigger capacitors on the same layer as LPDDR4 SDRAM. Okay, that means on the bottom layer only. and you don't need to firstly place all the components or all the bypass capacitors for first byte group, then second byte group, then third byte group, like that. During the placement, you just keep distributing those components. For example, I have to place 4 components. So one I'll place for this one I'll place for this, another one I'll place for this, another one I'll place for this one. Okay, so just do like that. Don't do like we have just place all these in line and like that. Okay, it should be closer to pad, and it should be like equally distributed throughout the byte groups. So now let's see how if I have to place component, how I will do for these bypass capacitors. So just select all those together. Now just reposition selected. So I'll start from here, and I can't place this component on the bottom layer because there will be collision between the components, right? So I'll place one like this, then the next component I'll place on the same line like this. You can see this is on the same line. Okay, try this symmetry as much as you can try. This will not affect the you can say the design or something like that, but yeah, as a designer we have to follow the symmetry. Okay, another thing is, so I placed one of these capacitors on each byte group. Now you can start with another one. So I'll place one here. Okay, and I'll place one here. Similarly, I'll place one here, and another one I can place in this section. Okay, so this one is already connected here, so you can target this section. Okay, similarly now I have to place another one. So for that I'll use the other edge, this. Similarly here, similarly here. Just try to distribute those components. Okay, so you can assign at least one between 2 of those, right? Now I'll target another one here, similarly here, and here we go, right? So as you can see, if I'll change it to like this, you can see almost each and every pad has its own capacitors close to it, and it is equally distributed, right? So you have to do the same thing for all these stuff, and similarly for this one, and you have to assign the color as well, right? So for assigning the color, you have to follow this step. I'm just going to tell you one more time, and this is the okay. So firstly you have to just assign any color. Let's suppose I'm going to assign red one on this, and let's assign one more color. Let's suppose dark green. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to just go to the PCB file, go to the design, import changes, and execute those. Okay, so here we have few mistakes. I'll look into that. What is that? Okay, apart from that, if you'll see, these are the color that we have assigned. Okay, and it's there, right? This is the red one, and similarly you can see the greens as well. Now it is clearly visible, right? So during the placement it would be really helpful, and okay, where are those components, and where we already placed the capacitor, where we have to still placing those components. So yeah, that is one thing. Till here, any doubt? Okay, so this is one more point. So bypass capacitors placement, and try to distribute those equally on byte groups. Now what will be the next step? Okay, one more thing, and that is place bigger package at the edge and smaller, which is 0 to 0 1, closer to, as close as possible to pads, in symmetry, or in you can follow the symmetry, right? So in symmetry. Okay, apart from that, this is one thing. Now after these things, when all these things will be done, now you can go for the placement of reference register and pull up, pull down, whatever we have on the LPDDR. Okay, so this is, and when you will do all these things, your LPDDR4 component placement will be ready, right? Now as I told you, for the type C, okay, so for type C, what you have to do, there is not much instruction, as I told you. So for that, just place channel configuration under the connector and all other components on the bottom layer around the connector. Okay, okay, these are the just two instructions for type C. Next was Wi-Fi module. So for Wi-Fi, again the first section is place all the components under the module. Here you can say try to place, and if you will not have enough space, you can just place component around that. So you can say try to place, and another instruction is related to the placement constraint, that is avoid the component placement on without ground section. Okay, okay, these are the only two constraints that we have to follow. Similarly for eMMC and PHY. So for eMMC, I would recommend yeah, just try to place component on the pads itself, or just on the bottom layer of, and closer to the pad as close as possible. So try to place all the components closer to pads as much as possible. Another point is, if required, shift the PHY chip away from eMMC, but at least 1.5 to 2 mm away from DDR4 outline. Okay, yeah, that is one thing. And for PHY, you have to place all the components on the bottom only. Okay, don't place any component on the top for PHY chip. Okay, because we have enough space, and top is kind of packed, So maybe we needed some space for routing as well. So just make sure place all these component, and it should be, again closer to the chip and as close as possible to chip. Okay, this is the instruction for eMMC and phi. Apart from that, what was other component? Okay, the PMIC and regulator. So similarly for PMIC, just follow the block, okay, the PMIC block. So for example, here we have PMIC block, right? And here you can see these 4 capacitors are connected to these 4 pins, right? So again, capacitor 1 or any of these capacitor will be placed to 45, another will be on 44, another will be on 23 and 24. Okay, these, not all these capacitors should be arranged on the 45 only, or all these 3 pins will be there should be a capacitor as at least. Okay, apart from that, if you'll see on 43 we have inductor, then we have these 2 capacitors, and it is shorted to this one for the feedback. So again, I would recommend, so you can see all these pins are close to each other, 39, 40, 43. So that means when you place all these component, it should be in this section only. Okay, so just follow the block, follow the schematic block, whatever the order of component, like all the bigger capacitors first, then the smaller capacitors, just follow that. Okay, and yeah, and it would be easy to place. So for all these whatever the LDO outputs for all the 8 channels, each one should have its capacitor. Okay, and it should be as close as possible to the pin. So for the PMIC, I just want to suggest one thing, that is, so this is for the PMIC, and for that I would suggest just follow the schematic for component placement, or you can say follow the schematic order. Okay, that's it for the PMIC, and same thing for the regulators as well. Okay, apart from that, let's see what else we have. Okay, so on other component, what is the meaning of other component? So if you'll see, I just left few blocks of the schematic during the placement, and let's see what are those. So one block is this regulator part. Okay, so why I missed this one, because again this is just a supply, right, for VCC fuse, right? So this section should be close to the A fuse, but we can place, because see, this is the SOT 23 5-pin package, right, and which will take a lot of space under that, right, and this pin is somewhere in the middle, so we don't have enough space to place this whole block. So that's why what I did, I just placed this capacitor, and this whole section will be placed at the end. Okay, so these are the things which comes on the other section. So these are all the instructions that you have to follow for placement, and I'll start uploading the recording, and as soon as it will be ready, I'll share the link, and with that I'll share all the. So I just want to show you for component placement. I tried 2 options, and I guess I've discussed that on last session as well, but let's see. Okay, let's open the file only. Okay, I'm going to merge this. Okay, so again, this is a kind of board, and I just designed, this is the just placement section, and designed that board on 8 layer, so that's why I needed extra space for routing and something. So we just extended this board in this section, and as you can see, for PMIC I just followed all the all the things are connected in really proper way. And here you can see this controller is under the chip, under the type C, and all the components for Wi-Fi is here, right? And that's why you can see ideally all these components should be in this section, but yeah, so here you can see it is a kind of we have to just arrange those components one more time, and all these regulators or reference LDOs and everything in this section, right? So again, this placement is not really complicated. The most complicated things for this chip is or for this board is length matching, right? And that is I faced a lot of problem. I've designed like so many board. I can show you one more board that I designed for RK339. Okay, let's open the file only, and that is the option 2. Okay, so you can see for this section only I faced like this is not a correct length matching. Okay, and it took me like I guess 2 days to length match every track. Why it is not correct? Because when I did the length matching and just measured the length of the tracks, you can see it is going up to 30.4 mm, right? This is the longest track that I'm using here, or even all our length match, so every track is around 30 point something mm, right? And this is not recommended. For LPDDR4, each track should be in the range of 25 to 27, and that is what we will trying to do in our case. And this is the most difficult part, where you needed experience, where you needed a lot of patience during the design, because you have to just keep deleting things and keep creating a lot of space. You have to maybe go for addition of more signal layers on the stack up, and this is the thing which takes a lot of time. Apart from that, all other connections will be like pretty much forward, and I'll show you the other schematic sections, or you can say schematic projects files that I have planned for you.